Miami Hurricanes fall to the Indiana Hoosiers in the national championship, and a game for the ages, more importantly, a story for the ages. I'm curious what it would take to dethrone Mendoza, Sig, and the Indiana Hoosiers story from being the greatest story in the history of college football. I mean, because it's one of those stories where it's like, what's a bigger deal than Michigan finally winning another natty? And it's like, if Indiana won a natty, well, that just happened. So I'm curious, like, what kind of story would have to
numbers,
be a G6 school?
Yes, by the numbers, it's the second losingest program in the history of the sport.
That's insane.
Like, Rice, step on up. UMass, step on up. You know what I mean? Like,
can't lose to food.
Yeah, like if one of those schools did it, okay. We've talked about this a little bit, and for everybody out there who's not a Premier League soccer fan or anything like that, Leicester City winning a title is the most ridiculous thing in the history of modern professional sports, and it's not close.
It's insane.
And Indiana is right there.
Dare I say more?
I want to say yes.
I don't think Leicester is the most losingest team in the Premier League history.
But the financial ramifications between Leicester and everybody else. Look, Indiana spent money, there's no doubt about it, but they weren't being outspent by, $800 million.
Maybe the litmus test is, does Indiana continue this, keep this rolling?
They're 100-1.
Because Leicester fell apart, and they're not even in the Premier League now. So can they continue to go? Can they continue to do this?
Can you believe that? They're 100-1 to repeat next year? It's the largest long shot repeater in modern college football.
Just because they're losing Mendoza, but they got the furry kid coming in.
Yeah, they got Hoover.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That seems a little slighted.
Also in like 11 billion transfers that are all like 4- and 5-star transfers.
What's the name of the game now, man?
Yeah. Do I think they're going to win a title? No. Do I think they're going to be really freaking good as long as Sig is there? Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Ooh, on the text line, a service academy winning a natty.
Well, I mean, they have plenty of them already, but if you're talking modern era,
40 years ago.
Yeah. But yeah, because they are up there's no program in the country under more stringent guidelines than a service academy.
Right.
Not your Cougars, not the Beavers. I don't care how much money
not the
you
Stanfords or the Notre Dames of the world with your education standards.
No. Like what you got to see those guys. Mm. You were on the field with them.
Yep. That quarterback was like 4 inches taller than me.
And probably 20 pounds lighter.
Yeah.
And that's not a shot at you.
You're calling me fat. I'm a little fat.
They're all.
I'm a little fat.
They're small. Like their linemen are like not much bigger than me. Mm-hmm. Like you got a lot of guys that are around, the 240 size.
I will give you a ton of credit, Danny. You were on this Indiana train all year.
It was when we made our over bets. I even said it. Mm-hmm. If you told me Indiana went to the college football playoff and made a run to a title, it wouldn't shock me.
You were on this all year. Here's some bad takes exposed here. You ready for this?
Hit me.
This is a bad one. This is Paul Feinbaum on if Cignetti is right to be the head coach at Indiana. Now, some context. This is after Indiana went to Oregon and beat them in Autzen. Mm-hmm. This is what
Paul became the number 2 team in the country.
Yes, this is Paul Feinbaum on Cignetti being the coach at Indiana.
Did Indiana make the right move with Cignetti?
They did not. And before anybody jumps out of their chair, allow me to explain. I think everyone on this panel agrees that he's done a phenomenal job. But Stephen A., this is how programs get in trouble. They just gave him an extension and a contract raise at the end of last season. We are barely at the midpoint. Let it play out before you completely send the Brinks truck up. Listen, there are very few generational talent. I understand why ESPN spends a fortune, like $100 million, to keep a once-in-a-lifetime talent like Stephen. Kirk Cignetti is one of the top coaches in America. He has coached brilliantly this year, but can't you let it play out a little bit? He has one big win, maybe 1.5, including the win a couple weeks ago over Illinois. And by the way, because Indiana is going to be in the playoffs, there's no way he could leave anytime before December or January. A couple of years ago, remember, Mel Tucker, Michigan State. They gave him a $100 million deal. He went out and lost to Ohio State, and he completely imploded after that. James Franklin, same thing. Jimbo Fisher, same thing. All I'm suggesting is take a deep breath, Indiana. Let the season play out a little bit before you mortgage a guaranteed $93 million contract that you may have to figure out a way to pay for down the road.
The man is
A small moment in there that may go unnoticed is when he talks about how you're going to go to a playoff and you can't leave your team in December or January. Lane Kiffin, come on down, buddy. That's a rough take by old pal Feinbaum. I don't understand. You know what else is weird? I was watching the pregame a little bit last night. Dez, Saban, and McAfee all took Miami to win. Like, I don't know if we're weird or different over here, but why is nobody giving Indiana any sort of credit on this?
Because they're Indiana. It's because of the name on the jersey, but
I told
also
you, though, I'm so sick of
I
that
know,
narrative.
But it's hard to steer away from. But also, Miami was playing incredible, and you've got Cristobal, who's maybe a little bit more known. And
I mean, Miami's resume is pretty nice too.
Yeah,
Notre Dame, South Florida.
Look, we talked about it in the beginning of the season. I said take Ohio State out of this top 10. I'm so sick and tired of them. I said that in the beginning of the season. I said it throughout the season. They're not one of those teams.
Yeah,
and Miami and Indiana were the two teams that just beaten and this isn't me just saying, look at me. I'm just saying, we saw it. Now, did Carson Beck pee down his leg against SMU and Louisville? Yeah,
sure
he did. He did. Outside of that, we know freaking Mesidor and Bain are both going to be day one guys. Malachi Tony's going to be probably the best wide receiver in the country coming in next year, outside of Jeremiah Smith. Like, they've got dudes everywhere. And look, as much as Beck, we talked about him throwing the picks and all those kind of things and game-winning drives, how many times has he lost in college?
6 times.
Okay. They're really good.
They are. 6 times in 4 years.
That's pretty. That sounds more like old era college football than new era college football.
Sure does. Sounds like Kellen Moore.
So to say that, to pick Miami, I don't think picking Miami was crazy, but I think it was crazy to not regard Indiana with the respect that they have earned. They didn't just beat Alabama. They beat the brakes off them.
And then,
they didn't just beat Oregon. They humiliated them, and Sig rubbed their nose in it for the entire game.
I mean, it's like a dog owner trying to break your dog pooping in the house.
No, he rubbed his nose in the carpet. Like, we saw him, and this isn't like to poop on Oregon fans. This was a Sig thing. They panned him on the sideline. Dante threw a pass away. It's like there's like 4 minutes to go, and he's screaming for intentional grounding because he wants more and more and more. It's like, this guy's a psychopath.
Yep. And you saw it last night on the side of the field, too. They'd cut to him, and he just was like a Bond villain or a mafioso or what, but like
when it flipped,
he knew what was going on.
When it flipped was when Jones got the punt block touchdown.
Yep.
That's when you saw the eyebrows kind of raise up, a little smirk
he does
go
them together.
And he could sense it. It was like, oh, they cut the shark.
Well, I want next season to start right away because I want to see how this story continues.
Also, I had it wrong. The 101 they were the largest long shot coming into the season.
Oh, okay.
That's my fault.
To win it.
Yes.
I want to see how this story keeps going. Is there a part
they cycled it back up on ESPN. I was like, oh, okay. I saw a clip earlier without the volume on.